Fusion! Ha!
Whoa, it worked!
What's good, y'all? Welcome to the channel. It's your boy Darzus, and you already know what time it is. Kaiju number 8.
Oh, brother, this guy stinks!
But with me, of course, as you can see by the setup, I am visiting Darzus. But we did get another chapter of Kaiju number 874, and we gotta hype up Hoshina, bro. He got all the way up to 70% output. I'm getting ahead of myself, but these last two chapters have really felt like a continuation of each other. So for that reason, this chapter review might be a little bit shorter than our normal ones. But I did just get done dropping all a character analysis of Vice Captain Hoshina. So go check it out if you want more content. Without further ado, let's get into it. So y'all, I gotta admit it. I don't know how you feel, but with the last two chapters, I've honestly kind of felt like I'm in a rock and a hard place. Don't get me wrong, these chapters have been hype. Hoshina is quite literally my favorite character in the series. I say it over and over. So to see him finally syncing up with 10 the last couple of chapters, seeing their output percentage go up to 70%, and seeing their banter and their bickering back and forth has been hilarious. This is something that we truly need to understand to truly get this dynamic of this suit that Hoshina has, right? This is the first time in Defense Force history that they have a suit that's sentient. But at the same time, I really feel like the story is taking a back burner while we really delved into this Hoshina dynamic a lot. I'm not complaining. Two things can be true, right? We've kind of put the story on a back burner while at the same time we've really delved into Hoshina and Kaiju number 10 interaction. Now, this chapter was dope because it did expand upon what's going to happen whenever they're finally working in full tandem, kind of like what we were talking about last week, right? Since they are finally syncing up, we saw their suit output climb all the way up to 70% this chapter. Throughout this climbing, we've seen them fighting multiple Kaiju. Hoshina's taking out Kaiju. Kaiju number 10 sentient and can use the tail to fight by itself as a third blade, and it was protecting Hoshina and taking out Kaiju at the same time. To me, the most hype moment in this chapter was whenever Hoshina told Kaiju number 10, "Hey dog, you gotta fend them off for yourself right now." And Kaiju number 10 said, "Bet, you're on, bro," and just started protecting Hoshina. And this was the first time in Hoshina's life that he felt like somebody was clearing a path for him. I don't know if you guys caught that, but it was crazy to see that normally Hoshina is the person that always wants to be the one to clear a path for Mina. But right now, he almost feels like he's taking the back burner and he's being Mina, while Kaiju number 10 is clearing a path for him. And Hoshina has his eyes lined up on that dark ant-looking Kaiju in the back. And once we got to the end of the chapter, Hoshina actually used the same technique that he used to take out number 10 to take out this dark ant Kaiju in the background. And whenever this happened, it was just dope. There was a lot of flashbacks in this. We had a lot of flashbacks whenever Kaiju number 10 with his words talking, right? Whenever Hoshina and Kaiju number 10 were fighting the first time, we saw that Kaiju number 10 kept on calling Hoshina his rival and kept saying rival, rival, rival over and over whenever it was attacking. Well, this chapter, whenever Kaiju number 10 and Hoshina were attacking together, instead of rival, it was dominate, 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 right? And at the same time, whenever Hoshina was saying, "Hey, this ain't normally my type of style," and he kind of squatted down and was about to grab his swords, you gotta think all the way back to the first volume, first few chapters, whenever Kaiju number 8 was about to fight Hoshina for the first time, and Hoshina powered up the 92% output with his base Japan Defense Force suit, and he was in that same exact stance. I love that we're seeing these kind of flashbacks to old moments. Matsumoto is doing a lot of that lately, if you guys have been paying attention to that. So I really love these flashbacks that we're getting. And I love this dynamic of how every single time that Hoshina challenges Kaiju number 10, 10 just wants to do more, right? He wants to get better. He's really trying to prove himself not only to Hoshina, but prove himself to himself. And it was weird that this whole time Kaiju number 10 really has been saying, I'm gonna be the one to use you. Let me run amok. But once we got to the end of the chapter, it really seems like Hoshina is in way more control than Kaiju number 10 is, right? Kaiju number 10 could feel all of this energy running through his body, while Hoshina really wasn't even using the most power that he can use. Whenever we see him use the Japan Defense Force regular suit, we've seen him power all the way up to 92%. Yet right here, all he got up to was 70%. And Kaiju number 10 was excited with how much energy was running through its body, right? Kaiju number 10 felt like that with just 70% output. Who knows what he'll feel like whenever he gets all the way up to 92% or even higher. And what is also interesting is what is going to happen once they start getting into those higher percentage ranges. Is that going to get to the point where Kaiju number 10 does have more control over Hoshina? If Hoshina gets to like 95% or above, does that mean that Kaiju number 10 officially has more control than Hoshina has, and then Kaiju number 10 can do whatever he wants to do? Or does Kaiju number 10 truly just enjoy fighting with Hoshina just because Hoshina is strong and runs into things head on the way that Kaiju number 10 wants to do it? That's really going to be our talking point and thing that we're trying to figure out over the next couple of weeks. But that was really cut and dry a lot of what this chapter was. It was just going from last chapter was them fighting, but they were not syncing up. They were not thinking the same way. And this chapter was really Hoshina just letting loose and saying, I will fight the way that you like to fight. And they got all the way up to 70% output that way, right? So really, it was a fun chapter to read. We didn't get much more into the story. It was really just them taking out those kaiju and us learning about that suit dynamic, which we did need to learn about. But I think the next thing that's going to happen is we're finally going to get another integration of somebody else on the Defense Force. And my best guess is we're going to see Reno next. I think that we're going to see Reno Ichikawa pull up somewhere, and he's going to pull up cold as fuck. Hey, no pun intended, but he pulling up cold as shit, right? And then after that, they're gonna save the best for last. Kafka's gonna pull up as our last Defense Force member. So I'm looking forward to seeing who pulls up next, and just looking forward to getting back into the story again. I love Hoshina, but I do want to see what's happening in this war, and more so, I want to see what Kaiju number 9 is truly plotting, dog. But if there's anything else that y'all want me to talk about, anything that you want me to make another video on this week, let me know in the comments below. Arigato mas for watching this video. As per usual, we just hit 270 subs, and we got the community tab because of y'all's support. So, dog, we appreciate y'all more than you know. Like, I'm being so serious. Thank you so much for the support that y'all show us. We couldn't do none of this without y'all, man. Even if it's only 270 subs, bro, like, it's 270 more than we had X amount of 8 months ago. You feel me? 7 months ago. So, thank y'all so much, man. It means so much to us. We love y'all, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace.